Are we on? Yeah, okay. It's another installment of the Behind the Curtain series, part of E&Ftv. I'm really excited about this one. Duetto and Edwards and Finn have been good friends for some time, and I've been looking forward to kicking this off with them because they've had so much going on in terms of development, product, and they've just got an outstanding reputation in the market. So being here with Chris and David and the team today, we're going to be exploring a bit about the team, exploring a bit about product development, what makes Duetto such an amazing business for their employees, but also obviously for their clients. And I mean, I just came down on the train today at the crack of dawn, so feeling a little bit sort of tired and whatever, but really ready for this one. I'm really excited. Apparently the whole team are here today. We've got customer success, we've got product development, we've got commercial, and we've obviously got the sales guys as well. It's going to be great to get some insight. This series with Duetto, we're going to be taking on a bit of a journey, and I know that Chris in particular is really excited about this. Hey guys, we're just outside Duetto's offices, just off Waterloo, and we're about to go meet the team, so why don't we go inside? Come on. Hey, how you doing? Right, let's go.
My record label.
What do you mean your record label?
It's got a record label, obviously.
It's not too bright, is it?
No, no, it's okay. Melting now. Painless. Honestly, I think I'd rather go to the doctors. Sorry. That sounds really rude. It's not rude to you.
Yeah, so? Ready? I'm ready for the interrogation.
My name is Lucian and I'm a Senior Deployment Project Manager at Duetto. I take care of our customers once they sign a contract with sales. My team takes over and we take them through the journey to implement, connect with PMS, connect with Channel Manager, make sure everything's working. And once that's all done, we hand them over to the training and customer success teams.
My name is Juliana. I'm a Regional Data Quality Manager at Duetto, part of the deployment team. And in my role, I basically make sure that the data that we're ingesting from the customers is as good as it can be and the system to work to make the best recommendations.
My name's Leah and I'm a technical support specialist here at Duetto. So once the customers have finished joining the company, they would be using the application itself, and if there's any instances where they have any issues that arise, they can log a ticket with us in support and we will try and help them solve that, hopefully very quickly.
My name is Sergio Rodriguez. I am a training manager in Duetto, and I do provide onboarding and training assistance for those new customers coming to Duetto and help them implement the strategy in the application.
So I'm Katrina Wheeler, Global Marketing Director for Duetto. So really working very closely with the sales team, bringing on new leads and then working with the customer success team as well for customer marketing and really driving that demand generation and kind of getting the customers on board as well.
What I love about working for Duetto is the flexibility that we have and the changing nature of the work. So no day is the same because we work with customers. There's always something new every day and it keeps it really, really interesting for me.
It's fun. It's fun. It's challenging. It's fun. It's very interactive. Lots to learn every given day and lots of good contacts with people in the industry. So it's lots of fun.
It's been a wonderful experience working at Duetto, I have to say. The camaraderie that we have here, the flexibility in where we work, it's a great place to be.
Working in Duetto, it's like spending time with different customers on a daily basis. So I get to speak with customers from different regions, different markets, different size of companies. So we can speak with a small 20-bedroom hotel in Italy up to a 200 bedrooms company in Spain. We are a small team, but we still have very good communication and we help each other.
I think it's a great company to work for. It's really collaborative, and being a remote first company, I'm amazed at how closely we work together. The fact that even though you're remote from each other, you're actually working really closely with each other, and it's very kind of open door policy, even though there's no doors and it's just cameras, but you just can huddle with each other and talk to each other whenever you need to.
Chris, thank you so much for taking some time out with the team. I know it's been a pretty crazy day today. There's lots of people here, which is amazing.
It is like a zoo. It is like a zoo. I did not know we had this many people that work for us. We will be addressing that later, Tom.
I was going to say.
Yeah. This is now a senior management meeting happening later in the day.
I want to say thank you though, because I know it's a bit manic, and obviously getting you in front of us and all the rest of it. But I have been really excited about talking to you because
thank you.
There's so much going on at Duetto right now. I've obviously known Duetto for some time. When you obviously joined, you and I had been in contact prior to you even joining Duetto. But I've seen how much is going on, so many announcements, so many things happening within the product development side of things. And I just wanted to take a moment of your time, first off, just to find out, well, just to share with people, I suppose, what your role is within Duetto. What's your focus? What do you do within Duetto, I suppose?
I'm the Chief Revenue Officer at Duetto. So I am really in two parts, the head of sales and the head of marketing at the organisation. The marketing piece is not a usual part of that role. Some CROs do that and some don't.
Sure.
I'm very lucky we have a super VP marketing. We just promoted her to our executive leadership team, Hannah. She's out on maternity at the moment, but we drive a very integrated sales and marketing strategy around the world.
Right.
We have around about 60 go-to-market professionals working in 30 markets primarily.
Wow.
The platform is live as an application in 65 markets.
Yeah.
So we're selling geographically and by segment.
Yeah.
And I'm responsible for driving growth for the business, for also driving renewals, driving our net rate retention strategy, so growing our business as well. We have a significant calendar of upsells and new products, which I'm sure we'll come on to a bit later.
Yeah.
And we're expanding into some really exciting new markets. You know, customers that we could never have imagined would be taking Duetto are taking Duetto. And the message that started, you know, all those years ago in Las Vegas with Marco and Patrick, that, you know, that you can control your business, that you can be a hotelier, that you can be responsible to your guest, that you can manage your revenue. That message is now global and worldwide. And growing every day. We've doubled this business in 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And it's a phenomenal story.
I was going to say, and that comes from not only that innovation piece, absolutely, but you guys are disruptors. You guys are shaking things up, you know? You guys are very much in a whole new, as you said, a whole new realm to what you ever thought was possible.
We have two values that I think are company values that really speak strongly for how this works and how this happens.
Yeah.
And I think you probably will touch on this with some of the other folks. First of all, we talk a lot about hospitality being in our DNA.
Yes.
Hospitality is a spirit. It's not new. It's been there since, you know, no room at the inn, right? It's thousands of years. But hospitality is a language of service. It's a language of passion. It's a language of detail, of understanding, of customer enablement, of customer direction. We believe that we have three key roles as a hospitality business with our customers. We need to be in the hotel with them, enabling our technology to do the work that it needs to do for them, to support their strategies. We need to be by their side in the marketplace, helping them understand what goes on, where the products come in, what the trends are, the benches are that they need to be aware of. And we need to be by their side when they face their competition, when they face the OTAs, when they face the marketplace and they try to drive their strategy. It's that in your house, by your side, in your market, wherever you are.
A true partner, right?
A true partner. So that value, I think, speaks strongly. And the second value that we're very proud of is come as you are.
Yeah.
We think you should be who you should be.
Yeah. Authenticity.
Be happy with your funky self.
Yeah.
Right? And
I love that.
And that goes for hotel brands as much as it does for individuals and stuff like that. And I think that's testament to that success is the huge penetration we've had in the luxury, the lifestyle and the boutique segments, as well as some of the great city centre brands and resorts.
Sure. I can imagine, especially within that boutique space, because it's so individualistic. And you guys are able to not only accommodate that, but celebrate it, which is amazing. In terms of Duetto, so again, we are exploring the people behind the tech. So for the relevance of the audience, and I can't imagine there's anybody out there in the commercial space especially that wouldn't have heard of Duetto, but can you just give us an idea of who is Duetto? What does it do? How does it enhance your client's performance?
We are a SaaS-based, so cloud-based,
Yep.
multi-tenant, which means multi-user, so multi-tenant revenue management application.
Sure.
So in very simple terms, we assist with pricing, benchmarking, market intelligence,
Yep.
forecasting, revenue strategy, personalization and assignment to the guest.
Yep.
Right. We also provide reporting and data solutions.
Yes.
And we have a groups tool called Blockbuster, which works around displacement and booking patterns on groups as they affect the revenue management strategy on rooms.
Right. It's one of those where we've seen the transformation, we've seen the products coming from Duetto, we've seen the advancement, we've seen the development, and that's why I sort of asked, almost what isn't Duetto doing? Because I know that there's so much going on behind the scenes in terms of continuous development. And you guys, I was actually speaking to David about this, is the approach is so intertwined with your industry, with the people within it, within the experts, within the people living it day in, day out.
It's in our DNA.
Exactly. And that's what was so brilliant to hear from David earlier, was that the development of the products comes directly from the industry telling you exactly what they want. Rather than tech saying, these are all the things you're missing, this is what you need to do. It's, tell us what it is that you're missing. Tell us what it is that you want to do, and we'll help you get there. And it's that true partnership that you mentioned.
Well, we try to engage extremely closely with our customers.
Yeah.
And we use the normal techniques for doing that: customer advisory boards,
Yep.
Revenue strategy forums, focus groups, feedbacks, all the rest of it. But the other thing that's important to note here is that we were a business that was grounded by hoteliers.
Yes.
This was not founded
Yes.
by some tech folks. Most tech businesses have a kind of weird schizophrenia, right? You have a bunch of guys who are building something
Yes.
for an industry they don't understand, and you have a bunch of guys who are selling that technology that they don't understand to
Sure.
an industry that they adore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And almost any tech environment that you go into, you have this slight schizophrenia with it.
Sure,
And
sure.
I think one of the things that we've done extremely well at Duetto is to bridge that gap. We engage all of our teams
Yeah.
in the hospitality business that we're involved in.
Yeah.
And our hospitality folks are engaged completely in the tech conversation.
Yeah.
So that we keep that spirit together, and we do that with our customers.
Yeah.
So I think when you speak to David, he'll probably tell you about how we use use case scenario selling
Yes.
in the solutions process.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that we're actually positioning the technology in a way that allows the user to understand exactly the way that they can use that technology in their day-to-day life, exactly the way that it drives to their goals, and exactly the way that they can use that with the other teams in the hotel property. And in fact, if you look at the HTR feedback, I would be remiss not to remind everyone that we're now third year in a row the best revenue management system in the world.
Just wanted to slip that in.
Slip that in there. But one of the reasons that we've won that is the extraordinary user feedback that we had. And we read this very carefully, look at it, and what you consistently get is easy to use, fast to deploy, delivers results, integrates well, these kinds of feedback. So it's also about enabling the spirit of hospitality within the hospitality ecosystem, building those partnerships so you can really drive value for the user and the guest.
Absolutely. I think it's one of those things where seeing Duetto doing so incredibly well within their market space, as you say, being the number one, third year running, let's hope let's hope we get to that fourth year, and I have no doubt.
I need a t-shirt.
Yeah, right. Or a banner behind. Or I'm surprised you didn't have a plane sort of going across.
Change our name to Real Duetto or something.
But obviously this all comes down to you guys continuously looking at your product, continuously developing, continuously to drive things forward. You guys had a pretty big announcement at ITV.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a bit more about that acquisition there?
I can. Well, it's one of several very interesting announcements that will come this year.
No doubt that we'll be following all of them.
Yeah, but no, we're delighted to announce the acquisition of MyStraight.
Yes.
This is a booking engine and revenue management tool for event spaces.
Yes.
This is a very exciting addition to our portfolio. You can see quickly the lateral benefits, but if you think about the way that hoteliers look at their space, at their hotels, think about the room space, think about the event space, the meeting space, the restaurant space, the public space, the free working space, the co-living space, the nomad space, whichever space you want to get into. This idea of managing space and event space with rooms will give a revenue management capability to our customers that will be second to none. They will be able to do things with this in terms of cross-referencing revenue, building profile around the guest, the way they sell, the way they look at demand. It's really exciting, and you know, it's a fantastic piece of technology. We bought it from and we've bought with it the founder, a very charming gentleman called Gerhard Varzim.
Right.
You get a chance to catch up with Gerhard.
Oh, I'd love to.
Highly recommend it, and he has built a really interesting piece of technology.
Right.
Very, very flexible to the user. It allows for the hotel to create an event space or an event booking, and then to use that as a booking engine so that guests can then book into that event space as attendees at that meeting. So you can both work inwards and outwards from the hotel's inventory as a salesperson and a diary manager at the same time. And once we link that to the revenue management applications in Game Changer and Blockbuster, it's
possibilities are endless.
It's just going to be amazing.
I was going to say seamless from end to end as well.
Goosebumps.
Well, as you may know, Chris, I'm incredibly passionate about this space. There's a lot of work that I'm doing at the moment within that M&E space, and it's a seriously exciting time.
Yeah,
there's a lot going on in terms of tech development because.
But don't you also think people are just starting to understand space?
Yeah,
absolutely. Some of our industry partners, I think, are doing some very interesting things here too, and I think people are starting to understand that, you know, the way that we think about the environment that we're in, right, and the way that we think about our guests. We talk a lot about the influence of technology in hospitality, and this is so true in the meeting space as well. If you think about it, 20 years ago, technology was coming between us and the guest. It was becoming between us and the business. We've come full circle now, and we've brought this industry back to its guest, and we've done that through technology. Why is that? Because we can recognize you, we can understand what you want to do, we know where you want to stay, we can help you with the right restaurant, with the right meeting choice. We have all of that in a way that allows the business to be close to you as their customer, not disintermediated from you as a consequence of distribution and price.
That's actually that's actually an incredibly good point. It's become almost the binding.
We're back.
We're
back, baby. We're back. We're back. We're back with our guests.
That's what we need on a t-shirt.
We're back,
baby.
Hospitality is back.
But coming on to that sort of M&E side of things, but the reason I'm so excited is because we're starting to see a lot of movement within not only strategy, measurement with regards to M&E revenue management, but also almost more importantly, that culture, that people element, who's dealing with it, who's within the business, who's being empowered, who's being incentivized, who's being targeted on M&E revenue management. Whereas before, I hope you'd agree with me, it's always been an afterthought. It's what the hell do we do with it? And so many different groups are doing very, very different things in terms of strategy, in terms of how they're approaching it. And there's been no real movement on the tech side for such a long time. And I think that now, as you say, is going to supercharge that movement. And we're going to see some incredible developments within groups, single properties, within large chains. This is going to be a huge movement for that M&E space. And it sounds like Duetto is at the absolute forefront, which is incredibly exciting.
Well, think about the integrated resort space. So, you know, we're always well known for our strength in casinos, more than 130 casinos on the platform. Today, we are by far the largest casino operator in the US and are starting to penetrate globally as well.
Right.
But casinos are essentially an integrated resort complex. Right. So in that environment, what do you have? You have meeting space.
Yeah.
You have event space.
Yeah.
You have resort space.
Sure.
You have cabanas. You have restaurants. You have rooms.
Yeah.
All these things have a revenue halo that exists around the guest.
Yeah.
And that ability to recognize that guest by guest by guest value
Yes.
is what will make the meetings and events business really take off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really take off. Look at the trends. The massive conventions have not come back in the way that they were before COVID, but meetings business is doing phenomenally well. Why? Because smaller to medium meetings, the things that we really need to do, right, for our lives, for our businesses, for our families, these things have massively come back. And they've come back as part of a kind of integrated travel philosophy. We don't think about brands and travel in the way we used to.
Yeah.
This is a great time to be a revenue manager.
I would definitely agree with that one.
This is a great time to be a revenue manager.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Because now the skills, the expertise, the ability to understand the guest, and the technology now allows you to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I think you probably talked to a couple of our guys about Advance. Right?
Yes.
One of the most interesting things about Advance, which perhaps we should make more noise about, is that this effectively is changing the way that the industry will think about revenue management. Right. And the reason it's doing that is because in the past, and we've done this and our competitors have done it, one of the most primary ways to understand your forecast and your pricing was to look backwards.
Yes.
It's like driving a car looking in the mirror, you like this. Right? Now the difference with Advance is that we already have the Predict HQ data coming in, which gives the event side of it. So we already are offering a kind of safety net with the dynamic optimization piece.
Yeah.
But as the other data sources, Amadeus, for example, starts to come in with the GDS data, the market intelligence data, we'll be basing pricing on forward-looking, market by market, location by location, behaviors and trends, events, individuals, booking sites, OTAs.
Yeah. I suppose the last thing I wanted to sort of touch on today, Chris, was we've spoken about what Duetto is. We've spoken about obviously the recent acquisition and announcement and everything else. What we're going to be doing with you guys, as you know, is following you for the next 12 months.
Yes, I've heard. There's a camera attached to the video.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to be seeing a lot more of us. I just wanted to get an idea and maybe some hints or teasers of what people may end up seeing from Duetto over the next 12 months. It doesn't have to be anything specific, but I'd love to be able to give a few little teasers out there to say this is what might be coming or this is what is coming. Can you give us any insight?
Yes, I think there's gonna be some surprises that I think people will like. Right?
Okay.
So I think first of all, what you'll see is a very united group of people. Not necessarily in a sort of, Stepford Wives kind of way, but in a just a very common spirit, and I think that will come over very strongly. We work very closely together. We're not a huge, enormous group of people, 160, 170 people. So we work very closely together, and the common spirit is a very key part of how we work and what we do. I think you'll meet people who are passionate and enthusiastic about the areas that they're experts in.
Yes.
Right? And I think that will come over very strongly. I think you'll also see a way of doing business that focuses on the hotel both as a customer but also as a business in the community. How we deploy, how we manage, how we support, how we enable, how we provide our products and services will come over very strongly. And you'll see, I think, great links between the teams. The deployment process in technology is a very interesting conversation. I'm sure you'll enjoy that.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's a conversation that people always underestimate.
Yeah.
And so what you find a lot, of course, is that folks will buy a piece of technology without always understanding what that means. I mean, it's quite a big spend anyway. But then you buy the piece of technology thinking, oh great, I'm now gonna get lots of extra money and revenue, but you've still got to deploy it, you've got to train people on it, you have to, all the rest of it. So I think you'll find that interesting. And I think the piece that will also, I think, fascinate you is the interdependence of the ecosystem in hospitality.
Yeah.
We do not exist without the PMSs. Let's be clear. We do not exist without them. In fact, we don't really exist without any of them. Right?
Sure.
PMS
is a big deal, though.
we regard ourselves as the center of the revenue system, right?
Sure.
But it would be impossible without the mutual exchanges of folio data, without the interactive reservation data, without being able to push the bookings the way that we can push the business. All the fantastic partnerships with the upsell tools, all these things that we do would not be possible without that integrated ecosystem and that very common spirit. And you interview a lot of people like me, and you talk to a lot of folks in the business, and you must be aware that there is a very common passion in the hospitality tech space, right? Which is warm and genuine towards the business, and comes both from history but also from appreciation and love. Right?
And if we're going to finish on a note, I'd rather finish on that one. So, but we are going to be catching up with you throughout this year. So this isn't probably the last time. So I will be pulling you in this room. People will be seeing you in front of the camera, and I'm looking forward. No more wings. No more wings. I promise. No more wings. But what I am looking forward to is to see how things transpire over the next 12 months, see how things develop. You and I catch up. There might be more product launches. There might be more announcements. And that's what we can't wait for.
Very exciting things.
Well, there you go. So, Chris, thank you so much.
Brilliant. Good to see
I'll
you
let you crack on with the rest of the day, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All right.